I'm gonna play a game called High-Low, and I want to know what your high experience from the movie was, basically a memorable moment, and then a low, something that was a little more challenging.
Please, up to you.
Low. Just getting the movie into production, just starting and having Chris McQuarrie say, okay, I got to figure out this third act. I think that was the low.
Most memorable moment of the movie, I would have to say, was being in the airplane when it took off. You know, that moment that, as well as we were prepared for, suddenly they clear off the runway, we're in the plane, nobody can help Tom, he's just out there, and we start barreling down the runway, and that was a moment that I'll never forget.
High was obviously the day we shot the plane sequence. That was pretty amazing, and you know, I didn't think it was going to be possible to top the Burj. And when we saw this, when we saw it on the big screen for the first time, it was official. We had done it, and we're very proud of it.
It's not a low. It's just we shot in Casablanca, which was wonderful. We shot this car chase and motorcycle chase in this very densely populated Haboob section. And it wasn't a low, it's just everyone is so enthusiastic and crowding around us that it was very hard to make sure we had open and clear roads to drive through. So that was a bit nerve-wracking.
You know, when I first got the job, I spoke with Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie, the director, and the principal thing they wanted was for it to sort of be a retro sort of tribute to the original music for the TV show. So I decided I would only use instruments that could have been used in 1966. So no synthesizers, no rock drums, no electric guitar. It was all symphonic music performed acoustically. It was very important to me that it not just sound like we took a record from the 60s and plunk it on whenever there's an action sequence. I wanted it to feel organic and like it was integrated into the film. And in fact, I kind of reverse engineered a theme for Tom's character, Ethan Hunt, that doesn't sound like the Mission Impossible theme, but when you play the two together, they work in concert with each other.
I want to ask you about BENJI's t-shirts.
Yes.
1, did you get to pick any of them yourself? And 2, did you get to keep any of them?
I did. I picked with Joanna, our costume designer. She'd always say, I think this is a bit BENJI. And the orange rabbit one was one that I loved, and there were various other ones. She always thought that BENJI should have a little flash of personality in his clothing, you know, because he's a bit silly. And but I didn't get to keep any, sadly. I always, you know, when you get a souvenir from a movie and then you walk down the street and you just feel such an idiot, because it's like, look at me, I'm like I am in the film. Please notice me. And that's the last thing I want.
I was curious, did you get to keep anything from set, a prop, or maybe one of your incredible dresses?
I want to know if I stole anything.
I didn't phrase it that way, you did.
Yes, I think I've got some beautiful clothes that were handmade for me, shirts and memories.
I read that early on you decided that you wanted a different director to direct each one of these installments, so I was wondering what made you make that decision, and has anyone expressed interest in directing too?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. It's not just something that I stick on. It's just every time, you know, there's so many different filmmakers that I admire, and it gives me an opportunity to collaborate with them. And, you know, we have different casts that comes in and out, and it's just to hear someone else's voice come in. Obviously, I've made 5 movies with Chris McQuarrie. He's my creative brother, so, you know, anything he wants to do, we'll figure stuff out. We'll make many, many more movies together.
In San Francisco, we were at a dinner with some people from Paramount, some people from IMAX, and Tom. And we were having a discussion about how this movie was being premiered. It was a dinner for other reasons. And the Paramount people said they were thinking about doing it in the Vienna Opera House. And someone from IMAX said, well, if we're going to do it in the Vienna Opera House, why don't we put it in an IMAX theater? And without missing a beat, Tom said, that's it. We're putting an IMAX theater in the Vienna Opera House, and that's what we're going to do. And since I'm a suit and I get paid to run a company, it's just, well, is it feasible? What does it cost? And Tom said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So it turned out we got a little bit lucky. We were able to do it. Technically, we were able to lever off the sound system of the Opera House. The costs were expensive, but they were manageable, and it's phenomenal.